Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, man. What I'm gonna start doing now is basically gonna start making videos, basically going through the progress of my game. So when I make like a static mesh, or if I make any type of basically anything from my game from now on, I'm gonna start recording it. That way, none of you bastards can point your filthy fingers and be like, "Oh, this dude uses AI. This motherfucker did. No way he did all this by himself." Like, yeah, I did, and it took me what? We're going on like fucking 3 years now on this fucking game. Good lord, man. I don't even want to talk about it because it really has been that long and it's insane. But anyway, today what I'm going to be doing is making a like a static mesh that's going to be just like in the environment in my mall environment. It's going to be like a crate. It's going to be like a crate item and or object. It's not going to be an item. It's just going to be like a static mesh. And I'm just going to show you the process, how I do things when I make meshes, or I might even do like characters. The next enemy I make, I'll probably record that one too, just because. Well, actually, no, I might not because it's going to be kind of like a spoil, so maybe I won't do that. Honestly, this might be a spoil, but anyway, I'm over here yapping over nothing. So let's go ahead and create the crate. So first of all, I'm going to save this, and this is going to be like something like this. Momentum crate. Okay, we're gonna save that. Now I do have a bunch of add-ons, and you can see my startup file is a lot different from the default one. I don't have a camera. I don't have like that stupid point light, whatever it was. I'm gonna rename this to crate before I lose my fucking mind. Okay, okay, I'm clicking it. There we go. I'll just call it crate. Why not? All right, and we can go ahead and get started. So I have mesh machine. If I show you, I can show you the side panel here. Hard ops, box cutter, and this is some other shit. I don't even know what the fuck this. Oh, that's Kit Bash, iCity, which I'll probably end up fucking removing because that like almost detonated my computer. Mira, this is for like this is actually very useful when making characters like retopology and everything. This is actually super helpful. I do recommend that. And UV Pack Master is another one I recommend. Hard ops and box cutter don't really need any introduction. Machine tools, they don't need an introduction either. It's pretty good shit. What the fuck is this? I don't even know what that is. Like I have these add-ons, I don't even know what like I don't even know. Okay, never mind. Saving it fixed it. Okay. And then you have your default one, edit, and all that good stuff. But we're gonna be using hard ops and box cutter and mesh machine a whole lot, so I do recommend those if you're into hard surface modeling or any type of if you any type of modeling really. It's helped me design my entire mall environment. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So for the crate, I kind of want like a wider kind of thing. And I actually did make a crate before I started this video, but it looked like shit and it wasn't stackable, so it looked fucking stupid. But now we're gonna go ahead and restart this and I'm gonna make this properly. And we're gonna scale down a little bit. That way I don't have to scale it too much in Unreal Engine. So how I want to do this is I want to make it stackable and I want it to make it look kind of sci-fi-ish. And you're gonna know if y'all have played the well, once the full game comes out, you'll see why. But anyway, spoiler alert, I guess. But so that's the general shape I want. I guess you can call it like a blackout phase. I don't know. I don't care. But let's go ahead and bring it in a little bit more. It's a little too wide. Hmm. Okay, that's not a bad shape. Not a bad shape. So what I want to do is I want to kind of make like a like some deep wedge cuts, make it look like a a crate. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna activate our box cutter, and we're gonna go into Ngon, and then we're gonna go up to the top view here. And then what I want to do is I want to make some really wait. Why did I select Ngon box? Here we go. Now what I want to do is go along this entire. Ooh, not that much. Maybe about right here. Okay. And then we're going to do like a wedge cut. So it's going to do something like this. And yeah, there we go. And then what we can do is I might actually scale this up a bit. Mm, yeah, something like that. And then we can bring it in a little bit. Let's see. I think about right there looks pretty cool. And then what we can do as well is take this, we're going to mirror it. And then we're going to take this and we're going to run an array on the cutter. So now what we're gonna do, see it's matching on the other side. So I could probably make this 6. Would that looks fucking ridiculous. So we're gonna come about right here. It doesn't have to really be even, although that is ideal. But I think I'm gonna change it up. Actually, you know what? Let's take this. Let's move it a little bit outside, and we could probably scale it up just a little bit more. and then apply the scale, and then let's go ahead and do the array again. And if I'm going fast, I'm sorry, it's not really a tutorial video. I guess I could make a little tutorial thing about it, but I'm kind of just showing you the process of how I use of make my static meshes. So I might do something like that where it's not symmetrical. Okay. Oh shit, what the fuck? Okay. So now we're gonna come here and okay, this right here, if y'all see up here, this it says cutters. HardOps actually makes the cutter collection for you. So I'm gonna move this up. Now when I hit Shift 1, it'll hide those cutters and get them out of my face. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mirror this on the other side as well. And then I honestly want this on the bottom as well, okay? I want that on the bottom. And already you can kind of see where I'm going with it. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Let me not mirror it on the bottom. I'm gonna do something different for the bottom. It's gonna look pretty cool. But as of right now, I think this looks okay. So I can go ahead and apply the boolean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Q, I'm going to hit Control Sharpen, and for some reason I got to change it in the setting. HardOp Sharpen likes to be a little bitch and make it 68 degrees on the sharpness level when it should be at fucking 30. I know I probably got to edit it in there, change the setting in the edit in the preferences, but like fuck me, man. Like since when is 68 the default fucking number? But anyway, we're going to ignore that and we're going to continue with the process. Now, what I did before is I did like a dash right here. I cut this at an angle, but what I want is I kind of want this to be stackable. So if I'm being honest with you, I might do that shit again. So we're going to come here, we're going to get the Ngon, and then we're going to cut this right here, okay? And once again, how do I want to do this? Actually, I am going to keep that. I am going to keep that. So let's go to here, control, what I hit? Control, and then, yeah, no, sorry, Q, and then hold control, and then hit sharpen, and that'll actually apply the Boolean modifier, but not the mirror modifier. You see what happens if I turn this off, you see what's going on there. So I need the mirror modifier. So now what I'm going to do is, and I don't like how thick this section is, so I'm going to actually just bring this in. Not all the way in, but about something right there. It's a triangle, so I don't really have to worry about shading issues there. And it honestly looks pretty cool. I'm going to do the same thing here, except I'm going to scale it on the X axis right here. And there you go. I actually like that. Now, do I want to be a silly goose and chamfer this? No, I do not. I do not want to chamfer that at all. So I'm actually going to keep that. And honestly, I kind of wanted a little lip sticking out right here, but I'm not sure if I want that anymore. I'm going to keep it how it is right now. I kind of like how it looks right now. So anyway, so now we have the mirror modifier on. Now what I want to do now is kind of separate this because, you know, crates usually have a fucking lid. So I'm going to get the box cutter. And I'm going to just do this right here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit the X and I'm going to make it a bisect, I think it's called, or a slice, sorry. And I'm going to do that. And then what I'm going to do is the lid is actually a little too damn big, so I'm going to bring that shit back using Everscroll. I'm going to bring that cutter back and I'm going to actually just raise it up a little bit because that's just a little too big for a lid. I might actually have to bring the bottom in as well, but we'll see. So we're going to hide that and then we're going to apply the meshes. Okay, I don't know why I didn't select the bottom. And for some reason, whatchamacallit, this mirror modifier wants to put a line in the middle so fucking badly. And that shit is so fucking annoying, so I'm going to hold off on applying the mirror modifier for a second. And now what we can do is we can kind of start focusing on the bottom here, because the bottom needs a little bit of love. It's just a simple cube right now, and we're going to do much more to the top as well. But as of right now, what I want to do is, so now these are separate objects, in case you didn't know. These are now separate. That's what the slice did, but this is parented to the bottom, so when I grab the bottom, it's going to fucking move, which is all right. I'm not mad at it. I don't know why I cursed. You know what I mean? But anyway, what we're going to do now is I'm going to take this, these edges right here, and I'm actually going to chamfer them. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. Something about right there looks pretty cool. I'm going to resharpen this as well, make sure those edges are sharp, and then everything's looking good. Now what I want to do is kind of give it some steps, not steps, but little cuts here. I'll show you what I mean. This time I'm going to do an Ngon. I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to go against the grain, if you know what I mean. And I'm gonna kind of give it some feet. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's see. Okay, it sounded kind of weird. I don't know why that came out like that. But anyway, we're gonna make it like a perfect trapezoid, and then we're gonna hold Shift and then X, and then you can already see where I'm kind of going with it. That might be a little too deep. Maybe bring it down a little bit. Actually, it might not have been deep enough. Probably something like this. And now what we can do is some silly shit, and then make an array. Okay, maybe 3 is the answer here. And I'm actually gonna make it symmetrical to the top. You see how the center is not in line with this one right here, with these two? I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom just to give it that kind of contrast. It looks a little bit more pleasing to the eye. So now what we can do is we can take this, we can sharpen it, and now we have that going. And if you go to face mode or edit mode and you hit 3 on the keypad, on the number pad, I mean, it'll remove any sort of unnecessary geometry, which is what we want because I'm actually have to come in here probably later and clean up this a little bit. So now what we can do again for the bottom is I'm going to go into face mode. I'm going to select the cube. Okay, I'm gonna go to the box. Oh, fuck. Okay, now I'm going to come here. And since it's mirrored, I don't have to worry about too much on the left side. I just gotta make sure the right side is kind of where I want it. And I'm cool with that. Now you can kind of slide it in a little bit. You see how it's cutting it. And I'm gonna stop it about, that's a little too deep, so I'm gonna bring it in, bring it out a little bit more. About right there. I think that looks pretty good. And now what we can do, if we want to be fancy about it, we can take the cutter, and then we can actually cut the cutter, and that's gonna cancel out and bring some geometry back. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna take the cutter. I'm gonna go into Ngon. And what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna come in like this, and then I'm gonna come out, and then I'm gonna do something like this. Um, and then what I can do is I can move this around now. I'm gonna do something like that. I completely lied to you. I'm not gonna do that at all. I'm gonna come back in here. I'm gonna hit the Ngon, but I'm gonna do line this time. So if I do this and I hit C, you can see it just makes like a line. And if I do something like that, you kind of see what's happening here. So that's what I'm gonna do instead. So I'm gonna come about right here at this corner, and then I'm gonna hit Shift Space to apply it or preview it. And then I'm going to do an array on this. And then I think I'm gonna do something like this. I am not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna leave this one, and I'm gonna come back to this cutter, and I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna make this a little thicker and bring it in. I'm gonna bring this out a little bit, and then I can take the cutter again. I'm gonna do the same thing, but this is gonna be thinner. Okay. Do I like that? Do I like it? I think I do. I think I know what's missing. I think I know what's missing. So we're gonna go ahead and leave that alone. I am going to have to put a line through this shit because Blender's gonna make the most stupid ass decision. It's gonna change. It's gonna like put all these lines in useless fucking spots, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me apply it first before I do it. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna hit Control, hold Control, and I'm gonna hit Sharpen, and then it applied it. And you see what I'm saying? Look at this. Oh, what the fuck? Look at this shit. There's an edge here that I don't need. There's an edge up here, and for a hard surface object, it doesn't really matter. But like, it's still enough to piss me off. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo all that shit. I'm gonna come here. I'm just gonna do a line straight across because when you make a cut inside of a mesh, Blender needs like 2 connection points at like every single time. So what's happening is it's trying to connect your geometry without breaking the faces or removing any like edges or vertices. And so what you get is like just weird random edges, and it just doesn't look right, especially if you're using like the one thing I noticed where it comes into play if you're using subdivision and you need like quads or some shit. That's when it really looks like shit because then you start seeing shading errors. But with something like this, I'm not gonna be adding any bevels to it, so you know it's I could have just left it, but it's just not doesn't look good. So you see now it's just a straight line. Like none of that, no fucking line here, up here. You know what I mean? It's just stupid shit like that. Blender just does whatever it wants sometimes. So now what we can do, and you see this right here? I don't like how this looks. I don't like how that looks. This should be beveled. to match that bevel. You see what I'm saying? Now that's looking a little better. And you can honestly do this in random parts too. So I'm gonna do this right here, right here, right here. Probably do it right here too. Why not? And then if you come here, you can chamfer it. I keep saying bevel, but it's actually a chamfer. And then what I can do is actually I like that. So we can do that, and you can see what's happening. It's looking a little bit more like a crate, I guess. So now if you want to be extra fancy with it, you can take these faces right here, hit I to inset. Actually, hold on a second. And honestly, another thing with I think it's I don't know who does this. Is it Mesh Machine? I think it's Mesh Machine. But you can symmetrize in edit mode. I know I have the mirror modifier, but if I want to select that middle face, I can do Alt X, and then you see if I drag the face, it'll actually mirror to the other side. And I could select this face, this face, this face, and this face. And what I can do is hit I to inset, and you see what's happening is it's creating a face in the middle. And if you want to be fancy with it, you can hit Control plus, okay? Go to select loops, select boundary loops, and then Control X to dissolve those outer edges, and then look at that. It's like a little taper effect, low taper fade. Anyway, you got to resharpen it because those edges aren't going to be sharp. It's going to be, if you don't sharpen it, look at this, looks like shit. And then you get this weird shading shit. So then you can come here, just resharpen it by holding Control and Shift, and it'll resharpen for you. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I actually like how that looks. This side needs a little bit more attention to it, and honestly, the lid, also, fucking hell, also needs some love to it. And if you go to face mode, if I hit 3, yeah, there was some extra geometry in there. So, all right, so that's looking okay so far. Let me try something. Let me try something. Let me see if I bevel these or bevel these right here. Will I like how it looks? I actually like how that looks. Okay, so we're gonna undo that and we're gonna make the chamfer just a little bit smaller, a little bit like that, make it a little bit more subtle. And this is just a static mesh, so I don't have to go too crazy with it, but I honestly, I want it to look good. So we got something like that going, and now for the top, generally crates are stackable, so if I do something like this, you can see it kind of looks weird. It's not very stackable. Well, I guess it kind of is. Like a forklift could come under here and pick it up, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go ahead and delete that. And we're gonna leave it the way it is. So right now, if you look right here, there's really no separation with the lid. I want the lid to have a little bit of separation. So what I can do is I can come here, go to the face mode, go to occlude mode, so I can see through the mesh and select faces that are hidden to me. And now I can take that face, and then I can actually bevel the chamfer the damn face. I keep saying bevel. I'm about to fire myself, dude. And now come here, hit chamfer, and you can see what's happening. It's given just a little bit of separation. Nothing crazy. I don't want it too separated, but you can see now there's some separation there. It looks a lot better. And now what I want to do is to take this face or this lid. I'm gonna lift it up just a hair. Okay, because I'm gonna have to join these objects, and every time I join them and the faces are touching, it likes to merge, and it fucks everything up, and it messes up the UVs. UVs is another thing I'm gonna go over here. How I do it. But okay, anyway, it's looking like a crate. If I saw this at first glance, I'd be like, wow, that is a crate. You know what I mean? It's a crate. So what we can do on the side here is kind of mimic what's going on the bottom. Maybe not as deep, not as serious, but we can do it. So first things first, I actually might think I'll cut. Oh shit! I think I'll cut this face, not with cyclic, not with cyclic. There we go. It's just the face. And I'm gonna do something like this. Okay, I am not gonna do that. That looks fucking terrible. It looks like a mushroom. So we're not gonna do that. I completely take that back. What we're gonna do instead is we're going to mirror the bottom a little bit. So we're gonna come over here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a box this time. We're not gonna do it in We're gonna take a box, come here, and then we're going to apply that cut. Only thing is I need that cut back, and then we're gonna take the outer face here of the cutter, and we're gonna scale it up 10 times. Okay. And now what we can do is take this, go into, give it an array. It never chooses the right direction on the first fucking try. And then we're gonna come here and we're gonna do I like it getting cut off right here? Do I like it getting cut off right there? I think I do. I think I do like it getting cut off on the bottom instead of having that lip. I actually like that. I think I actually like that. Okay. I'm kind of fucking with it. Alright. So, with that being said, I'm liking that. That's looking good. I don't know why there's so much extra geometry. And now this is kind of weird. This is kind of weird right here. What's going on here? I don't like how it's on that vertex. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna use the knife tool. Make sure this is straight, and I'm gonna dissolve this edge because it was on that vertex. Again, I'm being OCD about it. There's no bevel. It's not gonna have any shading issues. It's just a hard surface. I'm not gonna deform it in any way. So I really probably didn't need to do that, but just for cleanup purposes, for my sake, I guess you can say, just for my sake personally, I'm gonna dissolve that edge. All right. So now lids usually have some sort of point to where you can see where they're connecting, like some sort of latch or something. So that's what we're going to do next. So once again, we're going to bring back the box, and then we're going to come here. And then what we're going to do this time is we're going to do another wedge cut. Okay, we're going to come about right there. And then we're going to shift space. That way the cutter stays active, and then we can array it again. Again, it never goes on the fucking direction I need. Okay, what's going on here? Let's see something. Let me bring this out a little bit, maybe about right here. And then let's do this again, but with more. Yeah, I'm fucking with that. I'm actually fucking with that. Let's do 3 instead of 4. I think 3 looks better. And then once again, we're going to leave some space in the middle. We're going to make it not perfectly symmetrical. And you see all these fucking weird shading shit that's going on? That's because the edges aren't sharpened. But if you can see on the right, I have this boolean. See if I hide it, you see what it's doing. So I'm going to hit Q, sharpen it, and apply the Boolean modifier at the same time, and then there you go. I might have to remove some faces. Oh no, never mind. That was good. So now you can see what's happening, looking way better, looking like a crate. So now it's got some like, it's implied that something is latching, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be adding all this fucking extra geometry because I'm not trying to have my game run at fucking 10 frames a second because of a crate. Anyway, we're going to continue. Is my mic still on? Yeah, it's still on. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on the top here. Top is looking a little left behind. So what I would like to do is take these faces right here and do a little bit of fancy shit. So we're going to do this, inset it. And what I would like to do is to hit E to extrude, and I'm going to push it in. Or do I like it being pushed out? I do not like it being pushed out. Let's go in with it. If I can get my shit together. All right. We're going to go pretty deep on this one because I'm going to do the same thing I did down here. So that's looking pretty good. I'm actually liking how that looks. Oof, that might be a little too deep. So we're gonna hit G twice to edge slide and bring it back out. Did I fuck it up? No. But if you double tap G, it'll do like a little edge slide for you. Or if you wanted to go in the direction of this face, you have, so like for example, if I hit GY, you see it's gonna go straight back, which honestly doesn't look bad. I'm kind of fucking with that. Why do I like that? Shit. Okay, no, we're getting sidetracked. I'm gonna just stick with what I was doing. So let's, for example, if you wanted to make this face go in the direction that it's facing, you select the face, you come up here, you hit this, sorry, not the square. Am I losing my mind? Where is it? Here we go. Go to global, and then transform orientations, you hit the plus icon, and then now you see it's gonna choose that face that you selected. So if I were to grab this and hit grab in the Z axis, you see it's going in the same exact direction where the face is actually facing, and Y goes that way instead of going this way. But if I hit G and I hit Y twice, you see what's going on. But anyway, let's move on. So I'm gonna remove that because I don't need it. Then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna select these faces. We're gonna hit I to inset again. Hit Control plus Go to select, select loops, select boundary loop. And you can also create a hotkey for this if you want to, but there's so many damn hotkeys that I have to memorize, so I'm just gonna fucking leave it as me having to select it manually. And now we can hit Control X, dissolve the edges, and you can see what's happening. Looks way better than just a flat surface. And you see these edges up here, that these little connection edges. If you hit Control Alt and then select one, it's going to select all of them around. Hit Control X and then it'll dissolve the ones it doesn't need. That's just extra geometry that you don't need. So I'm just going to hit Control X and remove those edges. So with that being said, looks like these edges aren't sharp. So once again, Control Shift, and now you see they're highlighted blue. That means they're sharp, which is what we want. Now, I feel like there's something needs to be done here. Something is just missing on this side, and I'm really not sure what it needs, if I'm being honest. The same thing for the top. I feel like the top needs a little bit of love as well. What I will do is I will take this face, right, the top face. I'm going to, okay, this is looking weird. Let me do this something real quick. So I'm going to Alt-X in edit mode and do that. And I'm going to Alt-X again and do it on this side. That way everything is symmetrical because the mirror modifier doesn't show everything in edit mode. I think I could do it in edit mode by turning this on, but I'm so relying on hard ups and box cutter, I kind of forget. But either way, let's go ahead and select this one, select this face, I to inset. We are not going to be hitting I to inset because that looked fucking atrocious. So we're going to go to top mode, go to object mode, and then this is like almost a perfect square, or I mean rectangle if it wasn't for, these, little doohickeys there. So we're going to go to the box mode, and then we're going to select right here, and it doesn't need to be perfect because everything's already mirrored. So I'm going to do something like this, and I'm going to just come down. And I'm going to go about, I would say, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit X. I'm going to slice it instead, and I'm going to slice it like that. And what I'm going to do with this slice is I'm actually going to bring the cutter back because I feel like it needs a little bit more push on that side. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to scale it on the Y. Okay, a little bit more, about right there. Okay, because I did it on this side, but this side is reacting to a mirror modifier, so I should have started on this side. Shit. Let's bring it back a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna hide that. Now we can apply this, apply that. And I fucking hate the little plus, because once I apply the mirror modifier, those stupid fucking lines, I might have to remove them. But anyway, let's go ahead, come here, go to face mode, or not face mode, sorry. Let's do, what am I doing here? What did I want to do here? I think I'm going to, that's what it was. I'm gonna go to face mode, hit 3. Let's hit Control B to chamfer it, and we're gonna add some separation here in the middle. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now we can resharpen it. And now what we can do is make sure everything's symmetrical so it doesn't fuck with me. Now what we can do is we can kind of sink this in. Whoa. Other way. Other way. There we go. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hmm. Hmm. I'm actually going to bring this up. See that? Okay.